Hello, everyone, and welcome back. It's the final 9 of the 2025 United States Women's Disc Golf Championships taking place at Silver Creek Park in Manitowoc, Wisconsin. Holly Finley now out in front by 4 over Jennifer Allen. We also have Stephanie Vincent trying to hold on to that podium spot. And last on the card, Sandra Richardson, and now it's the back 9. We've seen wind, we've seen some heat and humidity, or felt it out there. I've got Val Jenkins in the booth again, ready to go.
I'm sticking this out. I got to see what happens in this final 9. Hole 10 gets really tricky. These players are throwing to the base of this hill. You can go for all sorts of strategies. We saw some players throwing to the top of the hill off of the tee. And then there's this huge, steep drop-off behind the pin. This is a multi-shot hole. Hopefully you don't get hung up in the trees. And Holly. Oh, it looked like she was going for the top of the hill, but get kicked down to the left.
A par 4, just sub 400 feet, playing as the second easiest hole on the entire course.
That's hard to believe.
Well, a little spoiler, it played exactly at 4. So every other hole on the course except for 8 played above par. This one played right at the par that it is. So anything under par is going to be picking up strokes on the field.
So they're just going for the easy layup down to the base of the hill, trying to hit that more open route. And now the second shot, they're going to head straight at the hill, but this has to be blind.
Yeah, they have a flag on top of the basket that sometimes you can see if you're in just the right spot, but essentially, like you're saying, blind uphill shot. And Holly was short and left with that approach. Stephanie pinched off.
And you're hoping to throw it far enough, because if you leave it too short, you're really putting a lot of pressure on your putt, and that drop off behind the pin is so steep. If you're not close, you got to lay up.
Another tree hit for Sandra. And that looks pretty good. Jen putting herself right next to the basket, or a few feet short. Holly looking just to get it close.
Ooh, that's going to be a tester putt.
Holly doesn't want it.
You know it's the right decision, but you just hate to do it. I mean, it's a big mistake messing up that approach.
And that means this could be a 2-stroke swing. She just laid up. That was for her par. And now she's looking at a guaranteed bogey. And Jen's right next to the basket looking for the birdie. This 4-stroke deficit for Allen could be 2.
It was an incredible approach by Jen. Again, it's a blind shot uphill. There's a steep drop off just a foot away from Jen on that left side.
Jen is 2 under on the round while Holly is 2 over. And Holly holds on to a 2-stroke lead. Crazy.
You start sweating at this point if you're Holly, knowing that Jen is encroaching on that comfortable lead. This shot heads up to the top of the hill, and then it bends off to the right, sloping down toward the basket. Another 2-shot hole, par 4. I think this one it has to be playing as an easy hole. I feel like this is more open than the last.
It's right in the middle in terms of the overall difficulty for the division. Did play at 4.57.
She tried.
And big power can get up to the top of the hill and around the corner.
Oh, I like it.
Yeah, this is truly a horseshoe shape of going all the way up and then just coming right back down. And this is a combo hole, so it wouldn't typically be played like this. If you came out here any other day of the week, you'd be playing up the hill, as we see a nasty kick by Holly, and then the next shot, the next hole, plays straight downhill. And Holly in trouble. Having to play out to the left of the Mando.
Wow.
Oh, no.
Whoa. This is a brutal roll behind where she threw the previous shot.
So now this is her third.
And she's still not even close to the corner, and she's still short of the corner.
Her fourth.
I would not expect this on this hole. I didn't see many other players having much trouble getting up the gap. And here's Jen with her second.
Jen has to be thinking about just how many strokes is she going to make up here. And that gets all the way out and around, so easy look to get up and down and at least take the par. She could get aggressive for birdie, but she may not even want to try. Stephanie now in that exact same spot as Jen pretty much.
She must have been out of position. I'm not sure. Just trying to get around the corner there for Sandra.
Finley's fifth. So it looks like a tap-in double bogey coming up is what it appears.
Wow. Hey, the pressure that Holly must be feeling at this point. You just can't imagine that this would happen on this hole.
And Jen will just pitch up looking for the tap-in birdie. See, Stephanie was just about 5 or 8 feet from her. No trees to deal with, or bushes, so to speak, and Stephanie will have the same result.
And Holly had been leading every round up to this point, and to know that you're in just less than 9 holes left in the tournament and it's starting to slip through your fingers. This is a pretty stressful situation Holly's put herself in.
This is for the double bogey, and that means that she'll go to 3 over, and Jen will be tapping in, and sure enough, after 11 holes, the 6-stroke deficit that Jen entered with is now gone.
Whoa.
A big shout out to one of my favorite Patreon supporters, Ellen Widboom, with the only birdie on that hole in the whole division. Thank you to Ellen and Sarah for your support of the channel. This one's no walk in the park, is it, Val?
Yeah, I don't know about this one. I want to see more birdie opportunities on a hole this short, but we see a lot of hyzers trying to get to the base of the hill, and then it's long looks from there.
2 straight can be trouble, and that's what you're saying, is play the hyzer off to the left to give you an alley.
Yeah, if you go too straight, it's just absolutely jail. It's going to be tough for Jen to get to the basket from where she's landed.
Even some of our biggest throwers in the game on the FPO side really struggled to get close enough to get to a birdie on this one. There was just one birdie in the FPO division by Taylor Chosek, so playing as one of the most difficult holes for our FP40 division as well.
All right, well, Jen might have a look for par. Holly had such a great drive. That was just ideal. Let's see how long of a putt she'll have.
Just behind Stephanie there. That's the tee for the next hole, the Lighthouse hole.
That worked out.
Okay. And a little roll. Do you put butter or honey on your rolls?
Ooh, honey butter is the correct answer.
Okay. You tell us in the chat what you're putting on your rolls. If you have everything in front of you, is it honey or butter or something else? Speaking of rolls. Not good.
Ooh, and Jen lets that one get away.
A par is picking up strokes on the field on the 12th. No birdies by anyone in the division either day. And with that, Finley will regain the lead.
You can walk to the next hole with a little bit of confidence, knowing, okay, I got that one. Because right now it's a neck-to-neck race. She knows that Jennifer is right there, and they have to be aware of the scores from here on out. Hole 13. We're heading down the stretch. This is the signature hole of the course, the Lighthouse hole. You got to follow the road all the way down to the left, and then you're faced with Lake Michigan, and you have to expect that headwind on the elevated basket. Putting is so challenging on this pin. Just putting in general. Then you add the wind, and it really adds a lot to think about. But if you can get a good drive here, and Holly leaves it short, a great drive can really take a lot of pressure off of your approach. You want to have a short approach so that you're accurate and underneath the pin.
For shots that haven't been online thus far, they've all landed in the middle of the fairway. So that's the lucky takeaway, so to speak. And this looks like a perfect drive. Oh, yeah, it is. Oh, and it's going to skip all the way down. From there, she should have an easy approach. Stephanie has to decide if she still wants to go down or if she's going to take a shortcut. And it looks like there's a shortcut.
Huh. That worked. Beautifully done.
Does Finley have the same angle? It looks like that's what she's lining up.
Okay, not quite as good. Likely just an approach from there.
Easy approach for Jen.
Easy?
Well,
what's easy about that?
maybe I should say one angle. She
Yes.
could just put it on a hyzer and just had to control the speed. I don't love that.
Holly going to a knee, which I find really interesting, but just to lay up. Holly keeps you guessing with her stances, and she does the sit putt, now the knee, upshot. I just never know what she's going to pull out.
Sandra for birdie. Yes, count it.
And did you see how composed she was after that? She's like, I am not falling again on camera after a birdie. Nicely done, Sandra.
And Jen doesn't even want to go after the putt. She's okay with playing for par.
And we talked about how you don't want to be too close to this pin because it really makes it so awkward. And I mean, maybe not for Holly, somebody with a lot more height than a lot of these other competitors, but you want a little distance so that you have space and the angle's not as sharp when you putt.
Stumpy little me is having struggles. I know that if I'm too close.
You can't jump putt from that close, Terry. And the wind is so consistent on this hole. You know that you're going to be faced with some kind of wind. And it's going to be coming off of Lake Michigan.
Now throwing into a headwind. Very short, but awkward, as you were just saying. Is Jen going to have a turbo, possibly? Okay. Just a little flip up and in. I like that. Big shout out to Jim Van Landen, your tournament director, along with Lindsey Krause and the entire staff and crew of the event. And then Jim, a gracious host over at the Lighthouse Inn, as we head to hole 14.
Hole 14 is reachable, but I think it's a tough one to get. You have to throw up and over these bushes, so that adds to the distance that it takes to get to this pin. But if you can get something up and over the bushes, it really opens up and you can give yourself a putt.
As our final card is getting here, we've yet to see a birdie. We'll see if that changes with this group. Great shot. Not sure if it's close enough, but it was the right line.
Yeah, and probably throwing that high line, it makes it play at least 350 feet. So that's a big pull from these tee shots.
Kaboom.
All right.
If anyone's got the distance, it's definitely Jen. She needs it to finish. And it looks like it catches a late branch. We'll see how much it slowed her down.
Stephanie still had a full power shot to get up there.
So Jen was within long putting range. Looked like deep circle 2. For the first birdie of the round on the card. Or on 14, I should say, and it's just off the front.
That would have been huge to birdie the Lighthouse hole and go back-to-back birdies here on 14. That would have been amazing for Sandra.
Holly looking for separation. And she's going to remain likely just one ahead of Jennifer. And that is a huge missed opportunity. Biggest drive of the group, looking for the only birdie in the entire division. A chance to get another stroke on Jen on a power hole. And she doesn't connect with anything.
I feel like Holly is just, a strength of hers is putting. When she is on, she is just dead center every time.
So hole 14 will go birdie free in the division.
Just a few holes left. This is getting pretty interesting. Hole 15, we start to head back uphill. It's not as intense as we saw or dramatic on previous holes, but it is slight incline. So it makes this hole play pretty challenging, and I feel like that second shot could be pretty deceiving. The players have to throw pretty hard to get to the pin in 2. You kind of have to choose whether you're going to be on the left side of that bush or the right side of the bush, and I think Sandra will be clear of that on the right.
Holes 13, 14, and 15 all played at .52 over par. So all playing about a half a stroke over par. Finley, great position.
Whoa. Jen goes way high. This has got to get down.
Holly to go first. Trying to apply pressure on Jen. See if she can get it close for the birdie look. And that's way up there. She'll have a look.
It's not the most obvious route, but you can get up to the basket if you can weave through those trees.
So far, approaches all on point. Jen able to stay out of the left side rough, so she'll have an open swing, plenty of room to work with here. Yeah, she could use either more angle, so it got a bigger skip, or more height.
Oh, I was supposed to skip that way. It's like a
You can hear Dustin laughing at this point. Sandra is a comedian.
Finley, long birdie look. And I'll repeat what I said in the front nine. Dustin Skorpinski, a good buddy of mine, up here on his birthday. Last minute, asked to come up and film, and he did so with a smile on his face.
And he's still waiting for his present. So he's not quite smiling as big as he could be. Sandra, great par putt.
Had to work hard for it. Now, Jen, a birdie look. Oh, and it was a chance to tie it up.
And knowing she has the power to get closer than she did on her approach, a missed opportunity for sure.
Just 3 holes left to play. Hole 15 saw 0 birdies by the division today.
It is just such a protected green. It's tough to give yourself an open look and tough to get that second shot close enough.
nice putt. Those are my favorites.
Hole 14. You're trying to land close to that road. Oh, hole 16, excuse me. Trying to land close to that road. That road is marked as OB this time. It's like a river. So if you're in the road, take it from the last place inbound. Second shot. So you can reach the pin tucked over on that right side. I was just trying to add holes to this round. This is some good action.
You got to wonder if that's what Jen's hoping for. She's down to just 3 holes left with a 1-stroke deficit.
And I think landing more to the left is ideal. It's going to open up that angle as the hole finishes off to the right. You can see them all throwing that hyzer line.
Sit down.
Jen's worried about pushing it into the OB parking lot, but it looks like it's checked up. And really a good spot. Good distance along with, like you said, the best angle to the basket from that left side. Here's Stephanie. Gets over, and she's on the dance floor.
I can picture Stephanie dancing. I'm sure she's got some moves.
Oh, big mistake by Finley.
Is she far on that right side? Is she deep?
It's just a matter of if she pushed through. You know, she pulled it into that inside line. I feel like the miss is off to the left because worst case scenario, you have a long putt, but it's open. And we'll see just how much room she has or if she got through. But now Jen just could not throw a better tee shot, but could throw a much better approach. Huge mistake. Oh, and she doesn't get through. So now it's just a matter of still getting up to the basket. She's got some windows and alleys to choose from, but she should have been nowhere near the short side. And now leave some work for the putter. Jen, long birdie look.
Woo! Jen is fired up.
To not birdie after that tee shot, it should be disappointing for everybody. I can understand some frustration there. You've got a birdie from that tee shot. Finley trying not to give another one back to Jen, and she'll save the par. Just when you think we know what's going on here, it's all over the place, Val. Down one with 2 to play.
And just tell that looking at their two demeanors, Holly is just very composed, very quiet, very focused. Jen is very outwardly emotional, clapping. She's got a lot of fire going on right now, and so it's like fire and ice, let's just say, battling it out down the stretch. Hole 17. I think this is such a fun shot. It sets up well for that backhand hyzer line. You want to ride that right side, and this whole fairway just slopes down to the right. And so even around the pin, it could be tricky if you don't have the best placement. Could see the disc get up and roll.
Hey, can you just read?
Sandra bragging about her consistency. Weird flex, but okay.
I will hit that tree every day.
Stephanie follows suit.
The wind really starting to pick up.
Does it skip straight? Not much skip at all. In the fairway, but considerably short. Opportunity for Jen. Like a stern mother
I hit the
figure.
one shot Candy. Tried to get the one shot Ace. Okay.
Yeah, this is one of those baskets where you want to be close because of the way that the green slopes down.
That was way good shot.
Very enthusiastic crowd following them.
We don't.
Small but mighty.
Yeah, I was gonna say we don't mess around in Wisconsin. It may or may not have been cheese or beer aided, but we get it done out
We're
there.
having a good time.
I'm just forced to pitch out. Long look. Oh yeah, hole 17, not her friend today. Stephanie to save par.
I feel like Stephanie has had so many looks from Circle 2 today. Bummer not to see her connect yet.
Birdie by Jen. We are tied up on the 71st hole of competition. She erased the 6-stroke deficit, then immediately gave a couple of them back, and now here with one hole left to play, Holly Finley and Jennifer Allen tied heading into the 18.
That's as good as it gets. and we're competing for a national title. This is a big deal for these players and their career. It's gonna put their name on the record, and many generations to come will be looking at these names. So who is going to take it? One more hole left. Hole 18 is such a great finishing hole. They're trying to throw it to the edge of the top of the hill. Second shots head down this ski hill. You really have to play into that elevation and know what the disc is going to do and how it's going to react in that wind. OB lines both sides of the fairway and beyond. This is huge drive from Jen, as expected.
It's going to be on the side of the hill. And nothing wrong with that. Jen's does have more distance, but when you see a drive like that, that gives you better footing. And I think just kind of opens you up for any different line you might want to take. Whereas if you're on the hillside, your footing's going to be awkward. That skips off of the disc, actually rolls onto it and past it. And another one low for Sandra.
What does she have against the worms?
Yeah, exactly.
Worm burner. Gotta get this up in the air.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to get all the way down.
So with the elevation, Holly can get some big distance on this shot. And that's beautifully turned over. And oh, it's starting to hyzer a little too early. But she'll be long range. Maybe a throw in from Eagle.
Yeah, an Eagle opportunity. Stephanie wants to avoid OB on the left side. And she avoids just that. So she comes up short. There's a creek, but also on the left side is just a string that's out of bounds. Does Jen have the opportunity? This is her second shot. And she's over. So Jen will be even closer for an eagle. Sandra's third.
You gotta throw it higher, though.
I've been saying that for a couple weeks, Sandra. Oh, and Stephanie not quite enough, or the wind pushed it down. The fourth for Sandra.
Holly, can she give this one a good run?
This is for eagle. All right. She's going to leave her fate in Jen's hands. Jen can win it with an eagle for Stephanie.
How epic would it be to win a national title with an eagle throw-in? See what Jen can do for us.
For the win.
Come on.
Wow. That was pretty close.
Inches short from winning it on the final hole. They're both next to the basket. And Sandra will close out with a par. She had to work hard for that one. And right next to one another, Jennifer and Holly will move in to tap in for birdies on the 18th. And Val, that means playoff. Yes.
That's what we paid for, Terry. More golf. And you know what? They head back up the hill as many times as it takes.
Now there's your standings with the playoff still in tow, but everyone else listed there. They get a cart ride up to hole 18. A coin was flipped, And Jen to go for sudden death, and they'll play hole 18 on repeat.
I'm so happy to hear that they got a cart ride up the hill. I was thinking, that's a crazy hole if they got to huff up it. They just played a whole week's worth of golf. Good drive from Jen. You're really trying to get past that one tree right dead center of the fairway. And Holly with a great throw as well.
Wow, it looks very similar to where she just approached from in regulation. Oh, she doesn't turn this enough, though. That could go toward the OB.
Whoa, look at how the wind is affecting it. Okay.
And it's safe.
She is so happy it didn't go too long in those trees.
So remember, in regulation, Jen was about 20 feet right of where she is right now. So a very similar shot, just with worse footing. And she's still on top of the shelf. That would be an eagle bid from up there if she wants it. Holly trying to get up and down.
Wow.
Safe.
That OB comes up quickly behind the pin.
Not really in a position to put this in. However, an eagle would win it.
Safe.
Enough to stress for a moment. Holly for birdie.
Jabs it in there.
Sometimes Jen has struggled from this distance, especially now that we're dealing with a wind and a major title on the line. She needs this to force the playoff to another hole.
A little bug distraction.
Dead center. Playoff hole complete.
That golf cart's still running.
Keep it warmed up.
I'm telling you.
Back up the hill they go. And now this time they alternate order, so that means Holly will take the tee. Another playoff hole means Jen takes the tee. They continue to alternate in terms of the teeing order. Sudden death, though. Another good tee shot.
I think it's all really coming down to these second shots and how they can deal with the wind, how close they can get it to the pin. Will somebody throw in an eagle?
This one she gets more to the right, but still heading left and short again. So at best, up and down for birdie, it looks like. And Jen, I feel like, was just here. This is like deja vu.
Yeah, it's like we've played this hole 3 times right now.
The standstill again. Can she get it closer?
Whoa, that got up and over the hill. She's on the flat, even with the pin.
Okay, I thought I saw this before. This is where Jen was during the first playoff hole and now just the second playoff hole.
Well, it's helpful that she's thrown that shot before. She does much better the second time around.
Holly, again, trying to get up and down. This would be for birdie if she can do so.
And that should do it.
Right where Jen just converted from. Jen has an eagle opportunity for the outright win on the 74th hole of competition for the win.
Nope. Dang it.
Gotta be frustrating how many attempts now, and that's right within her grasp.
So a few feet longer than Jen just made from, but similar position. Holly to extend the playoff. Val, that will do it. Jen Allen to collect her 5th PDGA major. Not enough. An embrace. And the teammates will see Jennifer Allen victorious. What a battle.
Congratulations. Let's hear it for our 2025 U.S. Women's Disc Golf Championships Pro 40 Division winner, Jen Allen.
Thank you everyone so much for coming out and supporting the women. Thank you Innova, Suka, Grip. Thank you Holly. You pushed me, I played like crud, so thank you so much.
Congratulations to Jen and Holly for putting up such a battle. Like, share, subscribe. Leave us a message because Val wants to read it in the comments.
Yeah.
But your champ, Jennifer Allen.
Amazing battle, super fun to watch, and I heard I'm getting paid in barrel-aged beer too, so I'll be expecting that soon, Terry.
You and
Appreciate it.
Dustin, line them up. Thanks for joining. We'll see you guys at the next one.